Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Please ignore this lash on the inside. I accidentally like crimped the rib, so it's like on the inside corner. That's not our focus today. We are focusing on powders because TikTok has been shoving two particular powders and a certain tool in my face. And I have to try it because I'm just like, you know what? I'm so sick of this fucking viral. So today we are trying the Maybelline 20 Super Stay 24-Hour Foundation. Plus we are trying HMB Cosmetics Soft Focus Loose Powder, which has been deemed by one user in particular as a answer to filler. Impossible, we'll get into that later. And the, what is this? Oh Pretty? See Pretty? Oh Pretty, I think, complexion puff. That again, another tool people are like, oh my God, it's gonna change your life. I don't think so, but we'll see. I'm really having a rough time here. So let's get into that. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Robert. I'm a professional makeup artist here on YouTube. Also in real life, it's my goal to help you become a pro yourself or just someone who's really good at makeup. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, do please consider subscribing. Let's get into it. I'm gonna do shade 40 in the Super Stay foundation. Now, straight up, there's a few things I want to say about this powder. Like this, there's a pad underneath and it comes with a mirror. Should I wash my hands? I have lash glue on my hands, so that's fine, whatever. If you are going to make a powder foundation or a foundation or any product that comes with a sponge or a puff underneath, we need air holes. We need air holes under here so that thing can breathe. And not get all moist and weird and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna start getting hard pan on the top here. We're gonna use like a damp, not damp, but like a sponge with oil on. It's not gonna be a good time. Just a few air holes. Just around the edge perhaps, you know? However, I won't be using this today. Okay, so my skin is primed how I usually prime it. It's hydrated and I've given my skin time to like absorb what it needs to. Honestly, these lashes are giving me so much fucking grief. They're so long. Look, they're like touching my things. Oh well. Holy shit. So I'm gonna use a powder brush. I personally like to apply powder foundations by circling outwards and building up like a good coverage. We've seen claims that this can go full coverage and be absolutely fine. So let's do it. And I'm gonna try and build this up as much as I can. Like, let's try and get full coverage and see how it goes. Okay, in all honesty and being real, this looks really nice. It looks really, really nice. I really had this feeling I was going to not like it. This is a really nice powder. It's really smooth on the skin. It looks beautiful. Like I really, close up as well. It's not drying. I was concerned that I was gonna have some dry patchiness around here and here. There is a little bit perhaps like clinging here. You see that kind of bunches up a little bit, but that's because it's powder, it's completely matte. What I like to do with powder foundations is completely hydrate it. So I would cover my face in the powder and then completely hydrate it with a hydrating mist and then just leave it like that. So I'm gonna put in a wear test for you here before we go into the next powder so you can see what it's like, because I'm impressed. I'm surprising, like I would consider taking this like to an event with me and wearing this because this is beautiful. I'm actually shocked. Not that powder foundation is nice because I like powder foundations, but that this one in particular is nice. I really like it. In terms of coverage, you know what, let's do it. Let's try and build up a lot more coverage on my cheeks and see how we go. The only drawback is with using a brush like this is when you kind of get all the product out, it is kind of like going everywhere. And that's probably why it comes with a pad, but I just prefer brushes. So I'm just gonna pat the powder onto the area. Let's see, like you see I've got like this little scar here. Let's try and see how much coverage we can really get there. Okay, so it's not like crazy full coverage. Let me just brush it out my beard quickly. But it does look, oh my God, it's everywhere. It looks nice. I actually really like it. I'm very surprised. Okay, let me put this wear test in here for you right now. Take a look. Morning. one of my lights isn't on, but it doesn't matter for this. Okay, so wear test today. We're going to do a wear test. Oh, should I turn a light on? Yeah, that's probably better. We're doing a wear test of the powder today. I've hydrated my skin. I've done like my normal. I just kind of let it sit for a few minutes. I'm going to go over how I like to do my powder foundation is I'm going to go over with a beauty blender, and I'm just going to blot away any excess moisturizer, whatever's hanging around my skin, just so it doesn't interfere with a powder, because I want to be hydrated, but we don't want patches of excess moisture on the skin to kind of clog up the powder, basically. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get applying. I'm not doing anything crazy today. I'm recording a podcast. I'm doing cleaning. I think cleaning a bit, which usually gets me kind of like hot and sweaty because I'm going to hoover, I'm going to vacuum, you know, same thing, do all this other stuff. I really, really like this powder. I think it's so smooth and so beautiful. Let's see how it sits throughout the day. One thing I would like to say is if you are going to use a brush, it is very, very dusty. Oh, look at my t-shirt. Lightyear. Isn't that cute? This isn't an advert, but I always buy their t-shirts. I'll put it here. It's Fantasy Feelings, the brand. So beautiful. They're Disney shirts. If you're a Disney fan, you have to get some of their t-shirts. They're so cool. Yes. So let's see how it does. But I like it straight up. First of all, I like it here. Let's see how it does a few years. It's not gonna be out in the video, a few hours later. Okay, listen, I'm not even joking when I say it's been like a minute since I recorded that thing upstairs. Look how like oily I am already. Actually, it's not terrible. It's not really bad oily. I'm in my corner where the lighting is kind of good. It looks quite smooth. When I mentioned when I said why I like to like hydrate my... Sorry, I just remembered I saw a spider up here. When I said how I like to hydrate my skin with a hydrating mist, is because can you see on my nose, I have quite a large pore here and on there. They're just always like that. It's because I remember powder really sits on my skin. So when I hydrate it, it's not as bad. You can't see those like details as much, but I'm gonna let my skin do its own thing today because like I said, I'm oily and look, I'm kind of shiny already compared to how matte I was a minute ago. Still looks fine, still looks like skin. This is quite good lighting. I've never filmed here before. Yeah, again, quite shiny. So maybe I would even go in with a powder. This is the same time, by the way. I just wanted to try a different light. Maybe I would go in with a powder again. Just normally just to set this, but so far so good. The color, it's okay. It's okay. I can just imagine it getting pretty dark like most powders do on me. Actually, I forgot to mention as well, usually when I use a powder foundation, I go 1 or 2 shades lighter than my actual skin tone because I know within a few minutes I'm gonna look like dark, it's gonna look too dark for my skin, and then I get this really horrible like obvious divide, you know? Okay, so it's 10 past 10. So I will update you. I'm recording a podcast, so I'll see. Hi, so it's a good time later. What's the time? It's now 12:17. So, oh, that's almost like, what, 2 hours and 10 minutes? I'm extremely oily on my nose, but one thing I've noticed is it doesn't look like the foundation itself has broken up. It just looks like the powder has become shiny, whereas usually if I wear a foundation and my oil comes through and starts to get involved, especially with the liquids, it looks as though it's separated on my nose, whereas this looks just like it's just shiny. I'm very tempted to powder it or even go in and touch it up with the powder, which I don't usually do, but this is as oily as I'm gonna get. There's no going back. So I'm thinking, do I just try and touch up a little bit and see? I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna take the puff. I'm just gonna tap it on top. I would never, by the way, do this usually. I would like blot a little bit more and then go on, but I just wanna see how this will sit on top of a really oily skin. I really, like, you see what I mean? Like it kind of sits if you're going to use a pad on top of moisture. So I'm just gonna use my brush and brush it in. You know, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I would now again hydrate with a hydrating mist. So that was 2 hours before I became incredibly oily, but it didn't ruin the foundation. I really feel like I could blot it even with a blotting powder and then go back on. It would actually be better to go on with a blotting powder than with the foundation itself. But even if you wanted to go back in with a foundation, I don't think it's terrible. Let's see how this looks in a few more hours. I'll keep updated there as well. Okay, last check-in of the day. It is now like 3:02 to be really specific. It is looking a little bit like clunky where I built it up on top of its own oil, which is to be expected. But I'm incredibly impressed with this powder. I really like this. I think it's a really good powder foundation. There's a lot of stuff out there for oily skin. And I feel like even the powder foundations for oily skin tend to disappoint a little bit as well. But I really feel like this has hung around, it's done its thing. Even my forehead still feels, it doesn't feel dry, but it feels a bit tight. And again, as an oily person, I think that's a blessing to be this far in a day and still have like a tight feeling forehead. I think it looks still good on my skin. I'll go to the other light in a minute. But I do really like it. And I think a few touch-ups throughout the day with a translucent powder would have gone amiss and a hydrating mist. And I think it'll be looking really good. I even think on drier skins, I think it will be okay if you really hydrated beforehand. Again, blotted away that excess moisture, powder, hydrating mist. I think it'll be really good. I don't think this is an excessively dry powder. I'm very impressed. Back in this light again, because I thought this was really good lighting. It looks really good. I would go to that window where I did the Mario one, but there's no point because when I did the Mario one, it was sun coming in and it's just the same as this now. But I'm really impressed. The only downside to this, I think, would be the packaging. I want it to breathe, that sponge to breathe. And it's dusty when you use a brush. And that's me being picky. I really like it. I don't know what else to say. I didn't expect to like it this much. I thought it would be okay. You know, I thought it would be changing color, getting darker, but it's good. I like it. It's a good powder foundation. Okay, so next up is the bane of my life. Can't stand it. I can't stand it. The HMB Cosmetics powder. No hate to the brand. It's not their fault that people have been saying things that is like misinformation. Oh, a lot of powder on my lashes there. That's fine. Should have thought about that before. Anyway, so I have translucent and I actually do have a color as well, but I thought we'll try the translucent one first. Soft Focus Soft Focus Powder Loose. Now, there have been claims online that by using this puff, this very one in particular, and I quote, can replace tear trough filler. Tear trough filler is what they put here to make your under eyes appear like fuller. They physically put something in to fill it out. What powder and a puff cannot physically do, it is impossible. It cannot replace, and it is not an alternative for filler in any way. Powder and a puff cannot physically bring your skin or any features forward. That fact, it physically cannot do that. Can it give the appearance of smoother skin? Yes, give the appearance of. Can it make pores disappear? No. We all know what I think about this. It's lighting, not any individual's particular lighting, it's science. It's how lighting works for anyone, anywhere. What I am gonna do is hydrate my whole face because this is usually done on a face where underneath the eyes is moist and hydrated and you can see a physical shine. But what I need is to mimic what they do online where under the eyes is like shiny and glossy, you know? And then they mattify in it and they're like, ooh, my eyelashes. No, you know what? I'm gonna have to take the makeup off for it to be a fair test. Right, bear with me. I've done it. I've put on foundation and concealer. I've hydrated under my eyes nicely because one common thing throughout the comments on these videos, right? People are like, I bought it and it didn't work for me. It looked really powdery and cakey. And the person was like, yeah, you need to hydrate under your eyes. So I kept my under eyes really hydrated. One thing I want to say as well is that this, of course, anything is going to make your under eyes look smooth when it mattifies it. And if you have really smooth under eyes, however, if you have eye bags or, you know, like me, like deeper under eyes, then unfortunately, there's not really much you can do in all honesty, except get filler or get implants. You can lighten that area with concealer, but it's not a powder and a puff. Two basic materials we've had this whole time throughout our whole lives of makeup. haven't just suddenly become tools to magically cure your under eye darkness. Okay, so here's a powder, here's a puff. Okay, so I'm taking the See Pretty puff and I'm putting it in the powder. See Pretty or Oh Pretty? I can't even see it. And I'm loading it up quite a bit because that's what they always say in the videos, to load it up quite a bit. Okay, let's go. So it has just mattified one side, which means it's not going to show up detail. Let me turn off this light. Ooh. So this is the eye with a powder. It's just matte. You can still see like details and stuff like that. And throughout the day, that's gonna get drier and matter. We can do a wear test on this too. It's just mattified. And if I was to mattify the other eye, it would be the same situation. This puff is really soft. Again, this is no hate to the brands because it's the people that are giving out misinformation. And also, if you want to look smooth on camera, then great. But what I'm talking about is real life, people looking for answers to their real life issues, you know? So if you want to look like incredibly smooth on camera only, or in low light, then that's great for you. It's just an under eye powder. You don't need that puff. You don't need that thing. You can use any beauty sponge and it applies any powder exactly like this. That's just how it is. And it's gonna change in every kind of lighting situation. It's not gonna be the same. This is really nice and really soft. You can probably use this for a liquid foundation or something like that. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful puff. And actually I would use it again. I think it's really, really nice for other things. But yeah, here's the deal, right? When you're shopping online, especially for powders, please just remember there is no miracle product that's gonna do something as crazy as filling in whatever. We have been doing makeup for centuries. Actually, thousands of years people have been using makeup. We have not just suddenly discovered a technique to fill in under the eyes thanks to TikTok and its low quality, potato quality videos. That's all I'm ever gonna say about that ever again, ever. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Give this video a thumbs up, do consider subscribing, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.